Yeah, so in this video we'll try to understand this keyword in JavaScript and how it behaves or how it might not behave the way you expect. So the basic one-liner definition for this keyword is it basically represents the execution context of whatever code you're executing, and it depends on from where you're executing the code. That is there, of course, but it also depends on the how. So it also depends on how you're executing the code, not just where. So we'll demonstrate that in like a moment. So let's get started. Let's say we have an object here, const custom object. We have method, and then we do something like this, and then we have, let's say, console.log. We do this, and the best way to debug is just put a bunch of lines at the end, so that you know why. So we have we console log it here. Then what we do is, let's say we do custom object or method, and then let's see what happens when we do node index.js. Did I miss something? Oh, sorry, I keep on missing the keyword there. Yeah, so we get like here the keyword this is representing this custom object. So you can say this is the execution context, and we have this method, this one, and like whatever inside it, right? So this is representing this particular method. Now for instance, let's do another thing. We executed this, and then we do const, let's call it detached or something, detached maybe, I don't know. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'll just get the function out of there, custom object, and we do dot method, and then if we execute detached. So let's say what we get. Did I write the spelling wrong? Yep. What's going on? Yeah, so as you can see, it's the same function. We detached it from here, we assign it to a new variable, and we try to execute it. The value of this just changed. We didn't change anything in the function, we just executed it in a different manner. Now let's do another thing. Let's do dot bind. Let's bind it to the object, right? It's called custom. Oh, it's called custom object, my bad. So let's bind it to the custom object and see what happens. We get that we get the same thing back again, right? So the thing that I want to explain is, like, it depends, like this keyword here is dynamic, so it can keep on changing based on how you execute the code, right? So like if we do something like this here as well, bind, maybe, I don't know, custom object, just to make it a bit more clear. We get this, right? So if we remove this also, and I don't know, maybe we just execute detached single-handedly before and without binding to anything. So see, the first thing that we got is this method. The second thing we got is this whole global object. Global object is like the most top level object that you can access in Node.js environment. So you have these basic functions like clear interval, you have the performance API, and so on. You can find everything in the global object, but as you can see, it depends on how we are executing it as well. So if we change it a bit, if we bind it to some object, that this will represent something else. Now if we do, so that basically means we can do something like this as well. So we can have custom object another, we can do maybe, I don't know, let's call it another method or something, another method, and then we bind it to something else. Now we bind it to this custom object another, and then let's say we run this. So here we get another method, as you can see, if it's visible. I'll just bring it on top. So see, the value keeps on changing based on with what you bind it, right? So that's again another thing that you need to keep in mind. So here, like we discussed in the last video, it's kind of similar to, you can also use this in those kind of overriding use cases that we had in the past. If you bind it something to some similar class, you get whatever behavior you want from there. And basically it's a very dynamic keyword, right? You can use it. If you know how to use it properly, you can use it for several use cases. Like it's very good for creating general purpose stuff, right? So if this keeps on changing and they have some common properties, and you can kind of exploit that to build a general purpose functions and get different functionalities based on with what you bind it, the same function. Like from the same function you can get different functionalities. That's what those are like some minor use cases that you might end up using it for. But yeah, that's what, like, the behavior is kind of weird that this keyword shows in JavaScript. And there is another, like, if you have used if you have used arrow functions, that's a way to tackle this bind thing only. It's nothing else than that. We'll discuss why the need for arrow functions came in the next video, and why, like, this wasn't cutting it through, and what problems does array function solve. And yeah, I think that should be it for this video. I thought I was able to explain this well. And yep, see you in the next video, folks. Bye.